Hey, what's up? This is Steve Aoki. You're watching Montreality. I don't know, if I didn't care about the subject matter, then I was really not in the classroom at all. My head was somewhere else. But when I actually found subject matter that I was passionate about, then things changed. And I was at the front, and I was a teacher's pet, and I did my homework, I did my research, I did all the work, and I wanted to contribute as much as possible. When I went to college, I didn't really understand what I wanted to do in my life, but then I eventually found it in these two majors, sociology and women's studies. And in those majors, I was really obsessed with learning and kind of empowering myself through the education I was getting. So yeah, it's different. My whole outlook on being a student changed. My first job was selling hats at a flea market. And my second job was working at an arcade, which is probably one of the best jobs, because you're just around video games all the time. Then I worked in a movie theater, and that was fun. It was like fuck with people. We'd, like, at the end of the movies, we'd like walk by while people were still watching the credits and like pretend like we're eating the popcorn and drinking people's drinks, and that was our way of having fun. It was stupid, stuff like that. And I knew how to sneak in every movie theater after that. After working at one, I was sneaking into them all the time. So, saving a lot of money. Actually, the money I didn't have. I can go see free movies. And then I worked in a restaurant. I worked at Benihana's as a kitchen help. And I was training to be a chef when I was 16, but it didn't work out. I wasn't a very good chef. And then I've done all kinds of stuff. I've done delivery service. I used to be a bike messenger. I did probably one of the worst jobs I had was telemarketing. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to pay the bills. So first big paycheck from the music industry. What was that? I don't even know how much I got for I'm in the House. That was my first single, was I'm in the House featuring Super Black, 2008. I did a mix album called Pillowface's Airplane Chronicles at the same time from the same label. I think I got like 15 grand maybe. What did I use that money on? Paying off credit card bills, because for a long period of time, up until I was in my late 20s, I was like underneath mountains and mountains of debt from running Dimmock and not making enough money, and trying to swim out of that debt was very difficult when you're making small increments of money. So I started DJing a lot, and that changed the game for me. That cleared my debt, and it moved me from not having to worry about bills like that to worry about, you know, the more creative aspects of my life, like producing music and becoming a better DJ.
That's something I wouldn't tell you right here.
Oh yeah, I mean, trust me, my respect for Eminem and Marshall is, there's a God. Daft Punk and Eminem. All his first album, the most seminal Eminem albums, would be by far the ones that stand the strongest. But although this latest album is incredible, Rap God is one of the best songs I've heard in a while. My favorite video game was Phantasy Star 3. That was like the best role-playing game. That was the RPG game that introduced me into that fantasy world. I mean, I don't think there's a game that had that kind of impact on me like that one. That's one of the best games. My favorite cartoon character of all time? I'd probably say the one that like just rang out in my head would be Armitage. She's a female android robot that doesn't understand, like this anime is really interesting because it goes into identity politics as from a robot perspective, and where she has a consciousness and people are discriminating against her because she's a robot, when she's like, but I can think like a human now. So, and there's a lot of that power play that goes on throughout this this anime series. Really interesting anime series. I watched that when I was in college, so it's pretty old. I think it's about 15 years old now. Yeah, I mean, like Japanese anime series have, the content is definitely not so face value, you know. And it's funny because I was obsessed with that concept when I was a teenager and I was in college, and my album Neon Future right now is all about this fusion and hybridization between technology and humanity or biology, or what we're doing with, you know, like how to extend our lives to the point where we can eventually live forever, how to eradicate every single temperamental diseases that come and plague our bodies. And we can possibly do that. How to like regrow body parts to regain hearing and regain eyesight, you know, and be able to walk when we were crippled. Like all these things are happening, and the research that's pushing for that technology to make it, you know, a reality sooner than long time from now, you know. Well, there's a balance, you know. With technology, you always want to make sure there's a balance with being human, you know, and keeping that human side as on the forefront of the technology, so the technology doesn't go above it. And I think it's easy to do that. I mean, when you go into like social media realms and things like that, like when you're eating dinner with people, you look around, almost everyone's on their phone like this. Even myself. You know, you can do I could do a whole meal with these. Look at these guys right here on the phone. Like they're all on their phones. You know, it's just how it is. I mean, I'm the same way. But we'll all go to eat and we're all on our phones like this. Looking at Instagram, looking at Twitter. Message to the youth: be creative, be original, find your voice. Everything that we do in music, in art, and, you know, whatever we create ourselves, it's all about self-expression. So find your shit, find your voice.